Hello everyone. Stevie is also here to start the video off with us. Today I need to clean up a mess. So a question I've been asked a lot is, do you ever wish you had a yard and more space? At least not at this point, because I can barely keep the deck gardens alive that I currently have. So I don't think I should be allowed to have more space yet. But I'm on the front deck, which is where I have most of my veggies and of course a bunch of flowers. I haven't done any maintenance except for watering for about 2 to 3 weeks. And this is also the deck where I have the plants that can grow the most wild. So I probably should have been paying more attention. But when we had our garden walk, only the garage deck was what people could see. So I was focused on that. And then on the back deck, there's also gonna be a photo shoot for that coming up. So I've been focused on that. No one's really seeing this garden but me and you. So I haven't been keeping up on it. And it's getting to the point where I need to. I can't even walk around the deck anymore. So let me take you around and show you what it currently looks like. And then hopefully by the end of this video, it looks a bit better. I'm not even really sure where to begin, but I am facing the way I would come out from the door onto the deck. I don't think I'm gonna do anything major with this center bed except harvest some of the flowers that are dead. So I'm not gonna leave any that still look good, but anything that is dying already, I am going to harvest those, but that's like lowest on my list. Right here to the right of the door are my 3 watermelon plants. They are shaking over the ground, so I need to at least find a way to prop these up a bit so that I'm not stepping on the vines when I attempt to get through that very, very narrow pathway over there. And I do have some watermelons starting to grow, so I don't want to crush one with my feet. So I do need to figure out how to get these out of the way. Probably should have thought about that ahead of time. This pathway here, which yes, is supposed to be a pathway, I need to cut some raspberry branches off. It is hard because I can see the flowers that will become raspberries, but I also need to be able to get through my garden to get to that bed back there. So I will be pruning a little bit of those. I don't know if I'm really going to do anything to these beds now because I'm mostly concerned with just being able to move around the deck. And speaking of being able to move around the deck, this is my pumpkin plant. Probably shouldn't have gone with this in my container garden, but we're gonna have fun this year and see how it does. But this is also supposed to be a pathway, and there is no room for me to walk. I'm probably gonna pull, I think, my green bean plants, maybe get that bag ready for fall. I'm gonna look at my cucumber zucchini. I have been hopping out to try to harvest when I see stuff. My tomatoes, I don't see any that are turning red yet, so luckily I'm not too far behind there. But mainly I just need to clean up the space. Even though it's summer, I am in a long sleeve shirt and pants because I feel like I'm going to be neck deep in that pumpkin plant, and that's the one that makes me itch when it touches my skin. So I'm going to try not to get covered in a rash from any of my plants. So we're going to go around and start tidying things up. I don't even know where to start. Maybe I'll start with the watermelons. Now my main goal with the watermelon, the 3 watermelon plants, is to get it off of the ground. I do have this hose reel here, but I don't know why I put that there. I just leave my hose laying on the deck the whole time. So I might drape a few of the vines over it. It is also in front of my timer if I ever need to adjust it. So let me see. Oh gosh, I don't even know how to get in there without crushing anything. First off, I should probably attempt to figure out which vines are attached to each other, because right now they're all twined together like a tangled necklace, which I always love trying to untangle those. Let's see if I can figure out what is what. Okay, no idea if this will work or not, but let's drape you over there. Great. And then let's take the other one. It's over here. And at least I can see where the watermelons are forming. Now, whichever ones get large enough, I might have to figure out a different way to support them. But at least right now, I have some more space to move around. All right, we'll do that for now. I might adjust some things in a little bit. You know what? That actually cleared up a good amount of space. What to do with the rest of the vines? I think I actually have... Oh, I do have a trellis hidden back there. I have an idea. Good or bad? I don't know. But it's an idea. Yes, this is a laundry basket. Let's put you vines over there. Now, let's see if I can make this happen without breaking everything over here. Okay, look, I've never claimed to always know what I'm doing or always have good ideas in the garden, but I do currently have an upside down laundry basket with a trellis sitting flat on top of it, and then just weaved the vines around that and the hose holder. It's off the ground, and that's my goal. So I succeeded with my goal. So I'm gonna leave this here and see what happens. And since I was up close and personal, at least I didn't see any signs of pests or disease, so that's good. Now I'm going to try to clear out this path behind me by just hacking away a bunch of branches. It's mostly going to be raspberry branches, which again, am I a little sad, but yes, I also need to walk around my garden. So, sorry about that. Man, I really don't know what's going on in here anymore. Let's see, I do have some sunflowers I can cut out. You know, last year, I think I did say in a video I might get rid of my raspberries because they take up so much space. And then, of course, I cut them all back in the spring, and I was like, no, it's fine. I love raspberries. They don't take up that much space, and now here we are. Let me see if I can get this. Ooh, this might be good. So, I'm going to attempt to put the edge of the trellis onto this raspberry pot. So that'll give me more space over here and add more stability to the trellis. I think my sweet peas are still in here, so I can pull those. Let's get those out of here. I have honestly never had a garden quite this wild before. All right, I'm gonna cut your small branch anyway, so don't feel that bad. You know, I'm gonna move, there's a pot down here with my Weigela that's probably very confused about what's going on in general. So I'm gonna move that out of the way for now, and I'm stuck on a branch. I don't want to get rid of you, but I feel like I have to. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna sacrifice this branch, and this branch, this one coming out here. Okay, now I think I'm gonna grab my bag of green beans because those plants look like they might be on their way out. Oh, raspberries. So I'm taking the drip out. I'm just gonna stick it in another bag. And I'm gonna bring this over to the table to go through a little bit later. I'm gonna move on to this pumpkin plant next to see if I can get that out of the way before I try to open up this side of the path completely. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So we're kind of just gonna see how this goes. Okay, so this is the plant that makes me itchy. So I want to remember not to rub my face after touching it. I do have these 3 cages, 19-inch cages here that were at least trying to keep some of the branches that way. So I just unwrap you there and take you so you do go around all of these cages. What if I take this, which is apparently tied itself to the apple plant, and then pick you up and set you in this bed? Maybe? Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm doing for now. Maybe not for the end result, but good enough for now. You I will then pick up and also put around the cages. Now I can actually get to the Gomphrena bed, which is great. Oh, that is a big creature. I don't know how big that looks on camera, but it is at least 2 to 3 times the size of a normal bumblebee, and it looks more hornet shaped. I don't know. Sometimes I think the larger the stinging creature, the worse. Let me know if you know what that is. I might also try to take a photograph with my phone and see if Google knows without getting too close. Well, Google did tell me what that was. It is an eastern cicada killer wasp. And despite having killer wasp in the name, they're not usually aggressive to humans, just cicadas, which I never knew there was a wasp that hunted cicadas. They should have been around last year. That was Cicada Apocalypse, but the males don't have stingers. I don't know if that's male or female. The females do, but again, they don't really use them on humans. They mostly use them to subdue the cicadas. So that's fun, and I don't feel as terrified. The more you know. So this is also just gonna get wrapped around. I really need to come up with a better system for next year. I mean, my system probably should be just keeping up on the maintenance. Okay, well, I do have the space, and I thought my zucchini was also done producing the zucchini round, but apparently I've missed one, and it is just a little bit larger than they're supposed to be. So you're supposed to harvest these when they are about 3 to 4 inches in diameter. This is probably like 6 inches. I'm hoping it still tastes relatively good, so we will see. Now, I also do think that zucchini plant now is done. I don't even see any more flowers on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that as well. Again, trying to make some space for fall crops. I did have someone ask if I use new containers for fall crops or the containers I'm currently using. And I have to use the ones I'm currently using because I've used all of mine. I do actually have some pots I've emptied out on the back deck as well. But usually I'll pull anything that's kind of near the end of its life, which I think this is. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get much more from this zucchini plant. So let's see if I can this. Oh, no, the whole thing's coming. Okay. I'm gonna harvest all of the bush beans off of this plant. That way I'll have those to eat, and then I will just empty out this grow bag as well for some cool season crops. In a bag this size, I probably wouldn't do beets. So this is a 7-gallon grow bag. I'd say maybe it's about 14 inches in diameter, but I would definitely do radishes. And then I'll probably, well, I will try to find some space in some of my raised beds for the beets, just because they do take up much more room. And you really don't want to limit the size for the roots to develop, because then you'll get some wonky looking beets. I just still can't believe I'm already thinking about the fall crops. I'm not ready. Look how much space I have now I can actually get through. I feel like some of my plants can breathe a little bit better. This makes me happy. Okay, I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then I think I'm gonna stop there for now. I was going to cut some of the zinnias off. Again, the ones that looked like they were far beyond their lifetime, but the bees are loving them right now, so I'm gonna leave these here, and I'll probably come out later tonight and do that. They're also all over the flowers of my mint. I don't know if you can see everything that's flying around there, but they really like that. That's another reason we're like, yes, you should harvest before they flower, but also they're really happy, and I don't want to take this away from them. I think we should take a little walk around the garden now so I can get through here. I put the Weigela in front of the hamper to try to make it look like there's not a hamper in my garden. But this space is all clear. Still need to sweep. I'll do that later. Coming around, I can get to all of the beds now. These are the teddy bear sunflowers. Aren't they so cute? I love those, and I love being able to get close to them. We can actually get between all my veggies. Oh, that makes me happy. So we'll continue on. Walking through. Boop, boop, boop. All the way back to the table. Or I have, well, a pigeon. The giant round zucchini. And these green beans. All right, well, that feels and looks so much better now. I can get to everything, which is probably something I should always make sure I can do in the garden. And you know when things get like so backed up that then you don't want to start on anything, but now that I have the pathway cleared again, I can go in and do the things that I still need to do. So I am going to, again, cut some of the zinnias. I'm going to sweep. I definitely need to fertilize out here. So I'll probably do all that later tonight after the bees stop enjoying the flowers. But I already feel like my garden has taken a deep breath of fresh air. So if you have been behind on garden maintenance, hopefully this video helps you feel better about it, because I'm also very far behind. The other gardens look good maintenance-wise. Still some tasks I need to do down there, but nothing was like this deck was. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.